Hi, everyone, and welcome to AI for Equity. Today is our season one roundup. All of our season one episodes are over. I know it's been quite a cool ride. We've learned so much. This episode, we're just going to tell you about how we feel about air and our thoughts. So I guess we should start off with what we liked first. I really liked one, working with my mum.
Oh, it's cute. I appreciate it.
Two, I liked actually editing the podcast together as well. I really loved relearning things and being able to listen to it for a second time
Yeah.
before releasing it. And I just feel like I also liked doing my research because I'm the researcher for
Yeah.
the pod as well. So
Yes.
I really liked getting all of this knowledge and getting really into the nitty-gritty of AI.
Yeah. I think I probably liked a lot of the same things as you. I think I like learning in the moment with people. Like, this is a perfect way to learn, to interview people. You get to ask the questions that you're most curious about. You get to unpack what's interesting. So I love learning. So I loved learning. So that was really great. I think also I like that our guests are from all over the world.
Mhm.
So I liked hearing from Tuan in the Netherlands, then Rodney in America. That was really good as well. So we're not just in our little bubble. So I really like that about it too. Yeah, I will absolutely go back to it's really nice not doing this on my own. A lot of the work I do on my own. So it's really nice to have a co-host and a co-worker in this process and see you working to your best skill set and hopefully me bringing some of my skill set in too.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go back
Mm,
to you talking about us having, Twan and Rodney,
mm,
both not from the UK. I loved that. I
mm,
love the different viewpoints that they had
yeah.
and also the different experiences that they had because they were global as well. They were from different countries. I really loved that. Even just hearing different people's accents, I find it so interesting
Yeah.
as well.
And I think I think we've done really well to get an intersection of guests. We've got
Yeah.
women, we've got people neurodivergence, we've got people from different nationalities. So I think that's something that we need to take into future seasons, that the intersection of identity as well as the different nationality as well.
Yeah,
Mm,
exactly. Because everyone brings something different,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's making sure that everyone can be seen as well as heard.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder how guests feel though, because I know there is something about accents which is really interesting. When it's your familiar accent, it kind of lands really well with you. When it's
yeah,
an accent that you're not familiar with, it takes a little bit more concentration,
yeah,
doesn't it?
it
So
does.
it would be interesting to know what our audience feel about that aspect and whether they're sometimes
Yeah,
struggling with accents and hearing things, or whether for them it's refreshing as well.
yeah. I do think it can be really refreshing
Mm,
to hear someone that doesn't sound exactly like you, with the exact same thought process as you. And I think with AI and things changing so quickly and us wanting new and updated
mm,
thing, but also hearing the same things about AI being regurgitated all the time, it would probably be really refreshing
yeah.
to not only hear someone that doesn't sound exactly like you, but is also saying different things than you.
I agree. And yeah, I've been doing a bit more research on AI as well lately. Just thinking about what you put in is what you get out of
Yeah.
AI. So hopefully, we're putting in some new, different voices and data sets into AI that it can bring some new and more unbiased and open and positive information out into the world as
Yeah,
well.
I really hope so. I feel like, there's so much about AI that we see,
Mm,
but I really don't feel like enough of it is positive. So I'm hoping that we are
yes.
trailblazing through
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and everyone always does have something positive to say.
Mhm.
It hasn't been. I know you've done a lot of research, and I think the quality of guests have been brilliant. But actually, there is a lot of good. It's a really good reminder that it can be used in so many different ways, in so many different places to help people. not just obliterate people's jobs or
Mhm.
take over the world or whatever the rhetoric
Mhm.
is. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we've done it. I think we've done a good job, and I've really liked doing that.
Yeah, I've loved doing it as
Mm.
well. My next section is 3 things that we learn, or maybe not 3, but tell me some things that you learn.
Gosh, I think when Mona said that AI was the calculator, basically. I was like,
Yeah.
oh gosh, yeah, AI has been around a while. I mean, when you look at the research, they don't always talk about that. They talk about things like Bletchley Park and things like that. But
Yeah.
actually, we've been trying to automate things, speed up, enhance our brains forever. And so, actually, why are we so scared of this iteration? I mean, there are lots of reasons. We're worried that
Yeah.
it will take over, etc. But it was really helpful to hear that. So that was a bit mind blowing for me. I think the thing that Jazz said about he was talking about people using AI for marketing. I think the marketing showed Nazi soldiers
Mhm.
who were people of color. I think that's what came up because they were trying to show diversity in their advertising and they'd programmed it into AI. And I thought that was such a great example of how it can go completely wrong
Yeah.
and how we need the human intervention. So that was, I love those examples. They really, examples and stories really help me to learn. And one more thing that I've learned, I think maybe the consistent theme that you need humans, humans. We're needed more than ever. And there's not one person who said we're never going to be needed anymore so
Yeah.
far. So yeah, I think that reassurance is really good from people who are in the field, who are in it every day, but still recognize
Mhm.
humanity is so important.
Yeah. I agree with you that
Yeah.
all of those things were so interesting and important to learn as well. I think the biggest thing for me that I found so interesting was
Oh,
like, Artie's
yeah.
deep fake
Yeah.
stuff. It was so scary,
Scary.
and when she was saying that AI deepfakes can breathe, they can mimic the
Yes.
chest rising and falling, and they can mimic a heartbeat on the neck. It's
Yes.
like, wow.
Yeah. And she even said like flushed face and things like that, didn't
Yeah.
she? It was like, wow.
And yeah,
Yeah.
it that was probably the craziest thing that I feel like I learned, or my favorite thing that I learned.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking as you were talking, because as we're talking, it's reminding me
Mhm.
when Erica talked about the stat of less women in the workplace
Yeah.
engaging in AI, that's probably the stat I've most quoted since our
Yeah.
whole series. It's like women are not engaging at the same rate as men in AI, and women are going to get left behind. So that was a good stat. I think we like a stat, don't
We
we?
do, we
We
love
like
a
a fact
stat.
and we like facts.
I love
Yeah.
facts. I
Yeah.
love a stat.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say was about Tuan, and
Mhm.
Tuan was saying how you can program AI, or specifically how you can ask questions about AI to make it work for you, especially as a
Mm.
neurodivergent person.
Yeah.
And whilst I'm not neurodiverse myself,
Mm,
I definitely do struggle with, writing emails or understanding what people are saying sometimes.
mm,
And I really have taken that on board and I use it myself,
mhm,
even when don't understand the message completely, or
mm,
writing an email feels very, very tricky because I don't know how to word it.
mm.
I really have been plugging away into ChatGPT.
Brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I think it is so helpful, isn't it, to help
Yeah,
us communicate with each other, whoever we are, but particularly when you struggle with neurodivergence, as he said. And
yeah,
actually, if I'm a neurotypical manager or colleague and I want to talk to my colleague who's neurodivergent, just some tips and some thoughts. I mean, it's a huge diversity there, but if you understand their specific type of neurodivergence, it can
yeah.
really help you. And I love the idea of AI bridging gaps between people.
Yeah, I really feel like we have seen so much in this series of people trying to bridge the gap,
Mm, mm,
and that is, I guess, what we want, AI for equity.
yes,
And we want that gap to be filled. We don't want it to be there anymore.
yeah, yeah. I mean, people do talk about bias, but they talk about it like it's inevitable and that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
Without thinking, actually, we have the power with AI to do something about it,
yeah.
and that's
Like,
exciting.
AI is programmed with bias, but who
Mm,
doesn't have bias?
yeah.
It's how that bias is
Mm,
addressed. And I feel like it's being addressed
yes.
thoroughly, which is really, really good. Okay. So the next section is three things that got us thinking. I will start with this.
Okay.
What really got me thinking was Jazz's idea that we can use non-Western methods in AI.
Mm,
No, it
mm.
doesn't just have everything is very Westernized. It doesn't need to be Westernized. I think that especially in the West, we don't hear as many stories from, other parts of the world at all.
Yeah, I think this is an ongoing challenge with
Yeah,
AI and with so many elements. When we think about a curriculum, they've been trying to decolonize the curriculum
yeah,
because it's been, yeah, you can use the language West, or sometimes people use the language Global North. It's very skewed to that
yeah,
part of the world. And it's as if there's no wisdom from other parts of the world. And there's so much wisdom. So, yeah, if we could, AI could help us with that. Like sometimes I've put into the internet or even AI, give me some quotes, inspirational quotes from leaders who are, from other parts of the world. And you get the same old people, you get Nelson Mandela or you get Gandhi, but you don't, I know there's so much more wisdom out
yeah,
there. So I completely agree. I think it's a radical and important thought that Jazz put out there. He put so many out there,
he
didn't
did.
he? Yeah, he was
Yeah,
he was really
it was,
fantastic.
yeah, it was amazing. I also been thinking, I guess, I've been thinking about the intersections in
Mm,
AI and how AI impacts me as
mm,
a young Black woman,
mm,
how AI impacts people that look like me
mm,
as well. I've been thinking about women, older women as well. And as we were talking about earlier, Erica was saying about the gap.
mm, mm,
I've been thinking about it a lot and how
mm,
AI, if programmed by a straight middle-aged white man, really I have to program it for it to
mm,
work for me
mm.
rather than against me.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about that, and as I am building my own AI platform as
Mm.
well, I'm trying to do a lot to keep the bias at bay.
Yes. Yeah. Sounds really good. I think the biggest thing, actually, when I, think about what stayed in my mind is that we need to be discerning. Don't need to use AI for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's come up quite a lot actually. And we don't have to try to use AI for everything.
yeah,
So, how can you be strategic about it? And how can you take a step back and think about when do I use AI? When don't I? When is it really useful? And what we need to put in place? For example, when is the human? When does the human have to be added to this process?
yeah,
And it's not as straightforward as I think that when you're reading about it, or when people are talking about it, just use AI for everything. AI can do it all. It's like when actually you decide when you want to use it. And I think maybe that's one of the problems that, like everything, sometimes it's like your phone. Is your phone helping you, or are you a slave to your phone?
yeah,
And I think I think one of the messages that's come through for me is like, we've got to decide, how is this tool going to help me? Not how am I going to work for AI? I think I've told this story before that after the pandemic, I went into my local bank, and where all the tellers were, the people with, the counters, they were all sealed up and there were machines there instead. The staff were cleaning the machines and telling us how to use them. And it was felt like the most terrifying day of my life.
yeah,
I wanted to walk straight back out. And at that point I thought, well, we're just working for the machines. We're clean. You were a bank teller and now you're cleaning the machines. That's not, for me,
yeah,
a great use of your skills. So it's like, where is the usefulness of us? And really understanding that. That's come out for me quite a lot.
yeah,
And that requires quite a lot of thinking.
yeah,
Yeah. Because what can only I do? What do only I bring? What does my experience and my knowledge and all of that come from? So I would say that's a key piece that keeps coming up for me,
hmm,
and that I'm personally still thinking through.
yeah. I agree with you. Where do
Mm.
we fit into the AI?
Mm.
How do we make sure it's working for us, not against us?
Mm.
I have caught myself quite a few times like I feel like I've been relying too much on AI for
Mm.
things, and having to step back and be like, "You know what? I know this.
Yes.
and not use the brain as the muscle it is,
Mm,
because if you
mm.
don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting point, isn't it? Because I think it does accelerate us. I think it's like a power turbo boost. It's like, oh, I need to get this done. You can speed me to, I want to get to Z. You can speed me to W, but then I could spend more time on Y and Z. I feel like that's kind of how I use it. Speed me there, but actually I still got to get to the end myself. Yeah.
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 I feel like every time I use AI, especially lately, it's been missing the mark.
Okay.
It really has been.
I think in our next season, we're talking to some people, and someone mentioned being a prompt engineer, for
Yeah.
example. So probably a prompt engineer listening would say, maybe it was your prompts.
Oh,
Maybe it wasn't
maybe
the large language model. Maybe it was the prompt you used that
maybe it
didn't
was my
quite.
fault.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Mhm.
maybe. So my next section is about what it's like working together.
Mm,
I find it generally quite positive.
Generally, tell me the difficult things about working with me.
Just my mum, and we live together. So we do. I do think that we do talk about work sometimes, even when it's downtime.
Do you?
Sometimes.
I really try hard not to do that. I try and even like if I've got something to say to you, put it in an email and schedule it for when you're working and stuff.
Yeah,
Mm,
I know.
but we end up doing anything.
I think we do.
Mm.
Because sometimes we have interesting things to say
But
to each other.
yes,
And
yeah,
it's so much easier for me to walk downstairs to your
yeah,
bedroom
yeah,
than
yeah,
send an email.
yeah. I get that. I get that. I think we do, but I don't. I hope it's not a lot. I hope it doesn't feel like, oh, the only thing we talk about is the
No,
podcast.
definitely not. We
So
talk about so much.
yeah, so I'm happy about that. Yeah,
Yeah. It is nice working with you, to be
yeah.
honest. I always say to people that you are my best friend.
Oh,
So,
that's very sweet. Thank you, my bestie, my
yeah.
bestie. I think that there's probably I'm interested in the dynamic of us. So
Yeah.
has our dynamic changed in your opinion?
Oh, I think our dynamics changed quite a lot. I feel
Mm,
like I wasn't as comfortable speaking,
mm,
and obviously because you are a speaker for your
yeah.
with your work, like I do feel like it was letting me speak to the both of us sometimes.
Mm.
But I feel like in this second series that we've been filming, I feel like I'm coming out of my shell a bit.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I think you have found your voice, which is really, really lovely.
Yeah.
It was always there, but yeah, I was thinking, was I overpowering or whatever? But yeah, I think it's just about getting into a rhythm, isn't
Yeah.
it? And also us learning to work together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because we haven't worked together in this way before.
No, we haven't.
Yeah.
We've never really worked together.
No, I guess not. So yeah, I think definitely you've come into your own and I love not working on my own on it. And I think you come out with different thoughts and questions to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I'm mostly drawing on my experience of the world of work, but you also bring your research knowledge into it. So
Yeah.
I think it's really a lovely combination actually.
I think that as well, you are really interested in the social aspects as
Mm,
as well. Whereas
mhm.
I would probably say I'm being more interested in mechanics
Yes,
as well.
yeah,
I'm really
yeah.
interested in how these people have got to where they are and and especially if they built their own, if they've done any sort of computing or coding and stuff, I'm really, really
Yes.
interested in it. I love
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Every time I'm talking to people about coding or AI or
Mm.
anything, I'm absolutely my element. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And considering a year ago I was working in account,
Mm.
now running my own company,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
I feel like this is much more my speed. And I didn't
Mm.
realize how much I loved it, how
Mm.
much I was gonna love it as well. I really get joy out of sitting there out on my laptop
Y
typing away these random numbers that I'd
mm.
forgotten I even knew.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're bringing the sort of the tech knowledge, the coding and all of that. So
Yeah.
geeky bit, if you don't mind me calling it that.
That's fine.
And I'm bringing, yeah, I'm interested in absolutely social people. Yeah, all of that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you're interested in that too.
I am.
Yeah, but I think you're absolutely right. That's where my like antenna goes. Someone says something, I'm like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I want to know how it affects people, what's going on, how does it
Yeah.
affect us in the world of work, practically, what difference does it make? Yeah, and because I don't have that knowledge at all of
Mm.
the sort of mechanics of it. It doesn't necessarily float
Yeah.
my boat in the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting, and actually, also, it's in a way an apprenticeship for you because you're learning from all of these wonderful
I
people.
am. I
Yeah,
am. I am.
yeah,
It's so cool.
yeah.
It is so cool. And I think, especially for the second series of what I've been finding, I've
Mm,
been really contacting people who I've l- really, really looked into as well.
mm, mm,
So not only do I think that they're doing amazing things, I also think that they're amazing.
mm.
And I'm always so excited to get to speak to them, just as I was in the in the first series as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I know. We're not giving any sneak peeks, but we have got some great people. Everybody
Yeah,
is super
it's
inspiring.
amazing.
Really, really inspiring. So, yep, you must subscribe or you might miss out.
So I feel like that is, I didn't feel, I know that's all of my sections.
Okay.
So I guess as a roundup, I would love to say thank you to all of our season one guests.
Yeah.
You were amazing. And thank you to all of our listeners from season one. And
Yeah.
we will see you in season
See you
two.
then.